My name is Emily Ford and I'm a PhD student at the Priority Research Centre for Reproductive Science at the University of Newcastle. Most of my undergrad was in high school science teaching, and it's because I have a passion for scientific literacy and sharing my love of science with everyone. So it wasn't until third year when I did a course in reproductive science that it really captured my interest, and I'd never responded to a field of biology like that before. So I decided to give research a go, and it really exceeded my expectations, and I've been doing it ever since. So my research interest is fairly broad under the spectrum of female reproductive biology, but I'm looking at early fertility loss and information that women have about fertility. So I'm looking at a condition that causes early menopause in women, and it's called premature ovarian insufficiency. And I'm also looking at the ways in which women get information about fertility and how they use this. So I think these are both important because not only is infertility rising, but women are leaving having children later. So if we have a realistic understanding of our own bodies, we can adjust our expectations and manage our lifestyles a lot better. So with this condition, there's currently no early diagnosis method, there's no cure, and a lot of the treatments are targeted at reducing early menopause symptoms rather than preventing this infertility from happening. And it happens to about 1 in 100 women, so it's fairly common throughout the world. So it's really important that we can identify this before it happens, but also so we can preserve the fertility for as long as possible instead of letting these women go to early menopause. So I have a lot of broad research interest. So looking at preventing early fertility loss, I'm looking at this at a gene expression level. So if we're trying to find the molecular switch that activates this condition. So it's a normal biological process that happens in the ovary, but it happens too much, which is why we see this early menopause. So I'm trying to find out what that molecular switch is at the gene expression level. And in terms of fertility education and awareness, I've got a survey and I've got a large data set for that. And so that involves a lot of statistical modelling. And also I think that one of the ways we could provide education may be through mobile phone applications. So there's a lot of more statistics and looking at things like how reliable they are, how they're able to be used, and whether or not what they're providing is factually correct for each individual. Well, I think that I want everyone to be able to talk about fertility, to know more about it. We've all sat through classes where we learn about what sperm and eggs are, what puberty is, how to prevent sexually transmitted infections. But what we don't really talk about is how our body works throughout our lives. And that's something that I think needs to be talked about. And whether that be so we know more about conditions like premature ovarian insufficiency, and so they have more research focused towards them, or whether that be by someone actually understanding themselves and being able to make decisions and empower themselves throughout their life.